Okay, Sophie, for your science exam, um, we weren't able to read Archimedes because of some glitch in the Internet Archive.
Yes, sadly.
Yes, but what books? Can you tell me what books you were able to read and what topics you um, learned in your machine AI, machine learning and AI?
Okay. So what we were able to learn about, we learned a lot this quarter. But another thing that we learned about AI learning, what machine learning and machine AI learning, was how it could be used. Well, there was this one time in a class we did this like group project thing. We would be put into breakout rooms and then we would have to discuss with each other which topic on AI that we choose. I chose the one on health. Um, some of the others chose how how AI can portray other people's voices or and faces, which can be really scary. But also, I don't know how it's useful. I really don't know how it's useful, but I think it just shows how AI is developing so quickly. And then the others, we're learning about how it can be good at security,
Mm-hmm.
and we learned about, well, Uyi's also with me, in machine and AI learning.
Okay, God bless you.
She learned
God bless you. And then,
she learned about something about the how it could portray others, and about that it showed that AI is developing so
Barbara.
quickly. It's it's developing. It can learn. It is already starting to learn how to how to actually how to generate videos. It can already generate images, but it has never really learned how it. It is now recently learning how to generate short videos, short films. Wait.
Tell me about that. For example, I open up my laptop and then what's the step? What's the first step? And for example, I want to say I'm gonna make a video about my birthday, for example. So how do you do that? How do you generate a video using AI?
Well, since it is not so super duper high tech right now, like not like it is very high tech, but not boom right there, as in like it's just very high up there, very smart right now. But right now, it is only able to like, the old way of making movies, picture image by image by image by image. It generates images, and then rolls it like a flip book, so that it makes this sort of animated looking movie. But I can tell that it's created by images because it can already project images so well, but it still has difficulty with generating images, such as humans accidentally having 6 fingers or more than 5 toes on one like foot, or even more than one nostril or something like that. It's still having difficulty with that, which is how you can tell that it's AI generated. But I've seen a few videos that is AI generated. You will be impressed. There's this one of Dwayne Johnson and then a kid eating ice cream at the beach. It is very realistic, but you can definitely tell it's AI generated because of the way the graphics are. Like it looks unrealistic, so that's what I'm currently learning about in AI. But the most current thing I'm learning about is how it can make predictions on what you like.
Okay. Good. I was waiting for you to say that word.
Why? Because
Because that's actually it.
that's the one that we learned yesterday.
Not just
Yeah,
yesterday.
no, that's what we were learning about yesterday, but it wasn't what we just learned about yesterday. We learned about it 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It's right. When you say artificial intelligence, basically, in the simplest term, it's about the computer predicting your next word or your next step. That's why it's artificial intelligence. It's not actually smart, it's just predicting. Okay, very good. Alright, so let's talk about the book that you read this quarter, Michael Faraday. Tell me about him. And why is he so important? What is his contribution to society?
Well, it is said that he's a scientist, but in the part that I'm reading right now, he is not a scientist. But the part that I'm reading is the start of him slowly progressing to be a scientist. But he is starting at level 1, being an assistant of a scientist. This scientist is Sir Humphrey Davy. He was a very well-known scientist in his time. He named some elements even. I think he said chlorine or something.
A what?
I think he said something about chlorine being an element. And his handwriting was worse than Michael Faraday's, because Michael Faraday only had 1 year in actual traditional school. He wasn't actually even homeschooled. He was tutored, but not at home. It would be anywhere.
Okay.
So it wasn't really homeschooling-ish homeschooling, but yeah. He also learned
I'd
from...
say homeschool.
The reason why I don't also say homeschooling is because he learned from people on the streets. There's this one person. I talked about this last quarter. Like, he learned about the streets, this history of streets, from this old man on the street. And I tell you, he learned a lot. Even me, even me. So that's only education he had. But he also went to lectures of scientists, and he would be taking notes like crazy, and he would stay there for hours on end, and then go home about late at night, because that's how long the science lectures were.
Was he Filipino?
Nope.
What?
I remember.
Tell me a little background.
I don't think he was European, because I don't think he was European is because when Sir Humphrey Davy told him, "I'm gonna be going to Europe, so you're not already in Europe." I don't remember where he was from, but I do remember that his family was speaking a certain accent. Anyway, what I know about him right now was that he's helping Sir Humphrey Davy as an assistant, but he is very busy but Sir Humphrey Davy is very busy, and Michael Faraday has to help out with his stuff in his laboratory. Laboratory. I know it's laboratory.
Okay.
I was like,
laboratory.
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 Where does it say? Anyway, in his laboratory. Let's say lab. Okay, let's say lab. In his lab, he would help out in it, and he would not right now, maybe now, and he would help him out, like making the chemicals, extracting things from vegetables such as beets, sugar beets, and making and preparing the things ready for chemicals.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the only thing he did. He used his knowledge of science as an assistant. So he's just taking baby steps right now. But he's not quite a scientist yet. But there's this one book that we have about him, the chemical history of his candle, but we're not really reading it yet.
Okay. Let's read it this quarter. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you know what his contribution to science was?
Not quite yet. But I know that he discovered something that's something. I remember he told me. I think he told me.
In the category of science, is he a chemist, a physicist, a biologist, a naturalist?
But I do remember he just did this contribution. I can't exactly remember what it was.
Okay.
Is it right in front of me?
Oh. Okay, what else?
I'll bring you the things.
Because you're contradicting yourself. You're saying, I do remember, but I don't exactly remember.
Like the specific details. I mean, the specific details. What I mean by remember is like I remember he told me, but I don't remember exact details. I remember. I thought
Alright.
that's technically not contradicting.
Okay, let's go to Archimedes. Okay, you probably reached this part before Internet Archive was not cooperative. How was power of a lever explained? Imagine you're explaining this idea to a friend, or to say Lacan or Maggie or Aaron.
It would be hard to, because they'd get bored or something.
Josiah. What would you say?
I mean, I think she might understand it, I guess.
Try to explain it, or try to explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old.
Like you're a
Hey, mommy, so a lever is what?
There are, I can't say there are 3 classes of it.
Well, in its simplest term, what is a lever? What is it used for? How is it helpful?
Okay, there are 3 parts of a lever. There is that how it works usually. There is the resistance, the force, and the fulcrum, the place where it works.
Mm-hmm.
The resistance is what the force is working against so that it can work.
Okay.
The force is a force, like what you use to make it work.
Finger.
Yeah. No. I was like, yes, wait, no. No. I was like, something, stop. It's something to work against the resistance. Oh, I get why you said that. Stop. I don't want to talk about Star Wars. I don't know.
Okay, what?
Sorry, I'm laugh crying. Because I get the joke.
Okay, game.
Okay, anyway, stop making me laugh.
Okay.
I can't explain it properly anymore. I can't explain it properly anymore. I can't say resistance.
What does a lever look like?
Basically, like, okay, let's say, let's say I'm gonna use a seesaw as an example.
Yes.
The place where it bends, like this, the middle, is called the fulcrum.
Bends?
Well, not
The
really
seesaw
bends.
bends?
No, as in moves, like leverage.
Okay.
It's like,
Yes, it doesn't bend. thing.
Okay, and then there's the fulcrum, the one that makes it go like this.
Okay.
And let's say there's this huge object on one side, and you wanna make it go up. Oh wait, no. Let's say catapult.
Okay.
Okay. Stop. The, the thing that's the resistance is that huge. Let's say it's a bomb or a rock or something,
What?
a boulder or something.
A bomb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's say a rock. Fine. It's a boulder, a rock, and then but you want to catapult it this way. So the force that you need is this thing on this part. You need to make it go like this. So go. That's the force. Stop. That's the force. The thing that makes it work is the mechanisms of the catapult, which make it go like this.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the one at the bottom. It makes it go like this, right?
Yeah.
And the force is where you go like this. So it goes
Mhm.
like this. That's the force. And the fulcrum is the one where it makes it go that. That's simple parts of it. But there are 3 types of leverage like that. There's
What is leverage?
that. That.
Oh.
I don't want to explain it so, you know.
The thing that you need for the force.
Ish. Nah. Yeah, you could say. Yeah, you could say.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay, so 3 things. What are the 3 things?
So it's only separated into 3 classes because it only describes the positioning of it. That what I explained was like the first class, I think. The second one was no, I think a wheelbarrow is either first class or second class because a wheelbarrow, you know how wheelbarrow is like this, you lift it up, like so this where you lift it, that's the force because you're working. The thing that the wheelbarrow is carrying, that's the resistance. The wheel is the fulcrum because it's the thing that makes it work.
Alright.
That's another example of a lever.
Okay.
But I think the most complicated class is either I think it's the third class, I think, or the first, or is it first or third class? Or
What
it
is
might
the third?
I forgot what the third class was, but I think it's the one that Archimedes did. It's where it's an invention he made, the Archimedean. It wasn't the Archimedean screw, but it was this sort of thing that goes like this in the water. It was something that he made for the Egyptians because the Egyptians, when the Nile's tide would rise, it would like kind of overflow the crops, and then when it would go back down, they'd have to scoop the excess water and put it back into the Nile. But he wanted an easier way to do that, so he invented this thing where there would be a handle, and it would go like spiraling up. When he did that, the spiral would go up and up, which would bring water up with it.
Suck the water in.
Yes, and then the outside there was this tube that led the water out, like outside into the Nile, so that it
Wow.
was more convenient for the Egyptians, so they wouldn't have to painstakingly just bucket water
Mhm.
into the water. I forgot. I think it was like third class or something. It was very complicated, but I don't think a 5-year-old would understand this. I'm sorry, but.
But I got it.
Yeah, I hope you did. I'm not very good at explaining these kinds of things.
No, you explained it. Thank you. Did you reach the part where Archimedes famously said, "Give me a place to stand, and I will move the earth"? What did he mean by this, and why is it so important?
I think I reached that part. I don't remember the story he said it in.
Okay, but why do you think it's important?
give me a place to stand and I can move there. Oh, I think it's also about that leverage thing. Like, he believed that he could do it. So he just had a place to stand. And if he had something to pull it, I think, he would just use that. But he wouldn't use himself. Because that's why levers are so useful.
Mm-hmm.
They lessen the work for you. Because if there's only a force and a resistance, that would make it harder. But since there is a fulcrum, an added component in it, it is easier to work because it helps you do the work. It helps you move it. It was like, for example, I think it was in the story where there was a ship that was anchored to the land, to the sea, and they couldn't bring it into land. But Archimedes told the king, "Just give me a place to stand, and I'll make it move here." And so he's like, "But that ship is so heavy. I don't understand." He's like, "Just let me do it." So, but the king was so amazed at this, he wanted to test him. He wanted to prove him wrong. So he filled it up with rocks and people and rocks and people. So he wanted to make it as heavy as he could. But Archimedes moved it so easily, it looked like a joke. Like, all he did was attach a mechanism to it. And it was kind of like a kite. You know how a kite is like this? Like, it's like on a thing, and then there's the string of the kite to just do that. He did that, except the rope was here. He just did this. And it easily just reeled it in. Like a fishing rod. Yeah. Like a fishing rod. And then people like, haha, he's probably not gonna move it. What's going on? They were so amazing. Why is the ship moving? And then the king and the other people like, and so he said, "How do you do that?" And then I think that's when Archimedes said that.
How did he do it?
It didn't explain it as detailed, in such a detailed way as the past stories, but it said that he just did this with it, reeled it.
I'm intrigued. I'm so intrigued. All right. Can you think of examples of levers we use in everyday life? How do they make work easier, just like Archimedes explained?
Well, I'm gonna look around for real quick. I can only name a few.
Go.
Okay. I'm as I said, the wheelbarrow, but I don't think they use the wheelbarrow as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a fishing rod.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, it said in Archimedes apparently.
Think of gargantuan things.
Like catapults.
Yes. What else?
I feel like excavators can be also, cause like this is the part where it, and like there's this, that's a fulcrum. The dirt is the resistance or the whatever it wants to carry, because that's the thing it needs to carry, and then the thing that's gonna carry it is the force. That force is it to scoop up. So I think that could also be ish, because I can see how it could be explained as it. So there's still a fulcrum, the place how it works, how it helps it to move. This is the force, which forces it to scoop up, and then the thing that it needs to carry is the resistance, because it's working against it. It's not making it any easier.
Okay.
Without it, wouldn't be work though.
Okay. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Would cranes count? Not the bird thing. Yeah. I know there's more, but that's all I can think of right now.
Yeah.
Is there any other subjects? I mean, yeah, books.
Not book, but one thing you've learned about bioluminescence when you went to Palawan.
Well, one interesting I learned about bioluminescence with a friend was that all living things are actually bioluminescent.
What does bioluminescent mean?
You can glow.
You could glow?
You can't. You are glowing. It means like not in that way. Like
Stop it.
stop. No, not that way.
What?
We have bioluminescence, but it's so faint it cannot be seen to the naked
By
human
the-
eye
By the naked eye. Okay.
because it's faint. Plants are glowing, so it's when you say a plant is bioluminescent, it actually just means the bioluminescence is more visible than other plants, but all plants are, including humans
Okay.
and plankton.
So, bioluminescence is helpful to whom? To what? To what?
Well, if it gives light, it gives light, obviously.
Okay.
That could be useful. It could be useful. But bioluminescence in large amounts can be bad.
Why?
I read about it in Palawan. It said that do not touch the bioluminescent plankton in the sea because if you touch it too much or swim in it too much, you could get sick or poisoned or might even die.
Oh.
I don't know why my friend said there will be this guy that will tell you to stick your hand in to disturb the plankton. I don't know why, but apparently it could be bad for you. In like, if you touch it, it could be very bad. You can get sick or something. Ugh. Just stay away from it. It's kind of ironic because we're bioluminescent too. But I think it's because those are plankton, bioluminescent plankton. It's like a different type of bioluminescence. For us, it just happens.
Is it like energy? Is it rays? What is it? Why do you emit bioluminescence?
When I study about it, it just says if you do. It just says that you do. It didn't get into the very specific
Okay.
details.
Okay. So that's it. Okay. Do you want to share anything more about your experience at the beach, Palawan? What discoveries you've made?
I saw crocodiles that ate humans. I didn't see it eating a human. I just saw a crocodile that was in a cage because it ate a human before. It was huge. It was probably it was bigger than, it's like 2 or 3 times the size of this table. And table's about like about a meter. A little bit more than a meter wide. It's about 4 to 5 meters wide. Probably like 6, 7 meters wide. Because including its tail, it's huge. It's terrifying.
How was it like holding a baby crocodile? What did it feel like in your hands?
Well, I heard someone ask me, "Can you eat it? Does it feel like you can eat it?" I was like, "Yeah, I guess." Because it felt
Was it soft or really scaly?
it felt squishy.
Oh yeah, because a baby pa eh.
Yeah, I was expecting it to not be, but I think I understand why it is because it's a baby. It's like only this big, so I held it like this, and some people hold it like a gun, cause like some people drape its like tail over their shoulder and made it did this.
What about the snake?
It felt the same as the baby crocodile.
Yeah?
Only the bottom. The top of the snake felt more scaly-ish.
Why do you think they were so calm?
The snake didn't feel calm. I could feel its... And then when I saw the mouth of the snake, it was like... And then the guy just was holding it, just like gripping its mouth shut.
Oh.
Like, it was like doing... Imagine this is his head. It was doing this to its head. I felt bad for the snake, but also not. Actually, I did feel bad. But I also didn't want it to attack me, so...
What about the other animals? Like the scorpions?
Oh yeah.
Tell me about what you've held.
I've held the scorpion, mini one. And the stick bug. Feels ticklish. Stick bugs really look like sticks. And the scorpions.
Didn't it sting you?
No, but the way that they crawled on my hand was scary because it kind of pinches you. But the girl said as long as you don't do anything to jolt you, it will not pull you. It won't boom you. So it won't with its tail. So I just kind of stayed still for like trying not to die. Like like please don't do anything to me, please. The girl was very good with handling the scorpion. Like the scorpion felt safe with her, but not with me. But I was fine. I wasn't able to hold a millipede. It said, did you see it right?
Yeah.
It said
so big.
yeah. Way
It
back,
was so big.
like this thick.
Yeah.
And you can't touch it because the girl said if you touch it, it's gonna think you're attacking it, and it will emit a very bad smell. I had a dream of it actually, and it smelled bad. Maybe I smelled someone's fart, but you know, it will smell really bad.
What about the butterflies?
Oh, the butterflies were so pretty. There were more butterflies in it, and I saw like actual, what do you call it? Cocoons, chrysalises, and they were so tiny. But some were so big, I thought the butterfly was about to, from it. Like, because some were this is the starting stage, and then some were like this big. I thought it was gonna get out of its cocoonery, but it didn't yet. Otherwise, it was so fun.
What about the ocean and the waves? Can you tell me your observation about it?
Very strong. Very strong, obviously, because my observation about it, it's basically the same as other beaches, just like prettier and stronger, way stronger. Like, as in the type, I think the tide was stronger there, even though, but I was confused because I didn't see the moon.
Maybe it was a new moon.
Maybe. Because the tide was really strong, the waves were really high, and I played with the waves. Everyone did. Like, some of them chicken fighted, like, putting each other on their shoulders and then fighting each other playfully, while some people threw sand at each other.
That was me and Rafa.
Yeah, so it was very fun.
Yeah.
But what I really observed was like it was really strong, really really strong, and there was still no moon. I think you're right when you said it was a new moon.
What about the stars?
There were so many stars. I think it would have looked like the pictures in Google if the sky wasn't just purely black, but it looked like there was as much stars as the ones in the pictures.
Why do you think it looked like there were more stars in Palawan than there are here?
I think it's because of the pollution. I have really bad pollution here in Manila. And Palawan, of course it has less because it's a very natural place. Like it's full of nature, and everything is so good there. Like in Puerto, it sells the best things, and it's so cheap. The mango shakes is so good. I really love Palawan.
Me too.
I want to go to Coron one day, but next year we're not going there.
We could.
Is there a Astoria there?
No.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.